Hello again everyone, John V from PhoneArena here. You're watching our in-depth video review of the Samsung Dart, which is available right now through T-Mobile for a 2-year contract price of free, no cost to you. It's a basic entry-level Android 2.2 Froyo smartphone, and it might be something appealing to those users out there still sporting feature phones and want to move up to a smartphone. When you have a handset priced at free, you really can't ask too much in terms of design. With the Samsung Dart, it's pretty much a cheap-feeling handset, to tell you the truth. It's constructed out of plastic all around. It makes the handset extremely lightweight, and it's pretty compact, but it does feel rather cheap. It's a very straightforward and bland approach with its look, but then again, it is priced for free. We're not all that surprised to find the Dart sporting a 3.14-inch QVGA display, so that's 240 by 320 pixels, so it's extremely pixelated and displays very low quality, so it makes stuff like web browsing kind of difficult to make out the tiniest of text. On top of that, color production is definitely on the bland side and lacks any luminance to make it visible in sunlight. Below the display you find the usual set of capacitive Android buttons, and we didn't really have too much of an issue accidentally pressing them. Taking a peek at the left edge of the handset, you have a very prominent and tactile volume rocker. You have also a spot here for a lanyard. Well, on the top we have the 3.5mm headset jack, and you have also the plastic flap here that hides away the micro USB port for data and charging. Finally, in the rear, you have the 3.2 megapixel camera. It has a chrome trim around it. You have the 2 notches at the bottom here for the speakerphone. And removing the back cover, just yank it off. You have the 1200 milliamp hour battery, and you gotta remove this to gain access to the SIM card slot. Again, you really can't ask much with a handset like this. The Samsung Dart features a 600 MHz processor, and you could tell just navigating across the home screen here, very sluggish and kind of delayed with its operation with the live wallpaper. With the static one, so a little bit more tolerable. But even something like the app panel here, you could tell it's kind of just a little bit of delay with its movement. It features Android 2.2 Froyo with the Samsung's TouchWiz UI layered on top of it. You kind of get a sense of it with the app panel and also the dock at the bottom here. But it's handicapped in a way just because it's missing out on the Samsung widgets that we normally find with the other Samsung handsets out there. And overall, the experience is definitely trying and challenging. All we have to say is good luck in trying to speed type with the Samsung Dart, just because with its portrait-style on-screen keyboard, it's very limited with its spacing and also cramped. And you can tell too, speed typing is a little bit difficult just because it's very sluggish and unresponsive at times. The landscape option gives you a little bit more space, but not that much. And in addition to that, you also have the swipe keyboard if you prefer to that. Fortunately, the Gmail experience is pretty good with the handset. Much like any other Android smartphone out there, it treats the usual set of features, threaded conversations, and the ability to label stuff. On top of that, setup's pretty simple. Generally, username and password and automatically set up, and in some instances, it might require some additional pieces of information. Combining its low processor and its lack of 4G and even flash support, the web browsing experience is pretty much abysmal with the handset. On top of that, it's not the most responsive thing in terms of kinetic scrolling. It has a tendency to actually lag. On top of that, the low quality display makes it very difficult to read out even the tiniest of text, so you gotta really zoom in. Overall, it's not the best experience. Using the conventional Android music player, it's more than functional at its core, playing some tunes. It displays the usual set of information. As far as the audio quality of its speaker, it's surprisingly really good. It's not too sharp, it has a good balance, and also has a good mix of different equalizer settings. Even with its low quality display, we're actually able to load a video encoded in MPEG-4, 720 by 480 resolution. As you can tell, it's doing a pretty good job in playing it back. It's pretty smooth, not that much evidence of any lag. Unfortunately, no 720p videos on here, but it's a low quality display and small size does make it a little bit difficult watching. Also, you can forget about shooting photos with the Samsung Dart's 3.2 megapixel camera because first of all, it lacks any autofocus, so they're not as sharp as we'd like, and secondly, it takes approximately 3 seconds to take a shot, so you gotta really hold it still. Overall, in any lighting conditions, it produces some poor looking images, lacking any fine details, a little bit of pixelated side, bland looking colors, and it fails miserably in low lighting conditions. At the same time, video recording quality is pretty horrendous with the Samsung Dart. It has a maximum shooting resolution of 320 by 240 pixels. It's very choppy with its recording. You could tell it's not as smooth as we like. It lacks any fine detail, and the audio recording is definitely squeaky, so you're going to look past this one. Call quality with the handset is pretty average and more than acceptable. The earpiece not the strongest out there. You gotta pretty much put it close to your ear to hear anything. But luckily there's no background noise or any static, and voices do sound clear. On the other end of the line, our callers did say our voice has a sharpness to it, but still easily heard. With the speakerphone though, it does kind of lacking with volume output, and it does sound rather crackly. Signal strength with the handset's pretty good. In high coverage areas around here, we managed to get a solid amount of bars and doesn't fluctuate that much, and we didn't experience any drop calls during our testing. With its paltry 1200 milliamp hour battery, we managed to get a continuous talk time of 5.5 hours on a single charge with normal everyday use, mostly using it for text messaging, web surfing, email, and occasional phone call. We managed to get in a day and a half, which is pretty reasonable for this type of handset. Ultimately, it's very difficult to not like any handset that's priced for free with a contract. With the Samsung Dart, though, its performance less than thrilling. It's not the best thing out there for an entry-level model. We've seen other handsets, such as the LG Optimus T, excel in offering that experience, but the Samsung Dart, though, kind of fails in that aspect. You're going to be more frustrated than anything else with this one. So if you'd like to learn more about the Samsung Dart, you can check out our website, PhoneArena.com. Thanks for watching, everyone.